Good evening all. This is going to be a quick video on the 5G gateway, which is called the 5G home system that was put out by Rogers very recently. This is brand new in Canada. We haven't had something like this for a while. In the States, you've had it for quite a while with T-Mobile and others there. This unit was actually used by T-Mobile. I believe they still are to some extent. However, they have migrated to other units. This is the one that is being offered right now, and we're going to go through the settings and work through it and see exactly, does it work, does it not work, is it worth it, what should we do? These are the prices that are offered currently by Rogers. High-speed usage with 500 gigabytes at high speed, browser, email, social media, gaming, so on. Download speed 50 meg and up to 20 for 500 gigabytes. The upload speed is 10 megs after that, and 4 megs after exceeding 500 gigs. 500 gigs, unless you're doing a lot of gaming and videoing and everything else, that's actually quite a bit. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I wanted to point this out here. Download speeds up to 3 megabits for video streaming. I actually addressed this with them and said, okay, what about Zoom calls? What about conferences like that? 3 megs is not going to cut it, of which I got assured that this does not apply to those. It only applies to Netflix and your Prime videos and stuff like that. So that is adequate for those, and it allows you to be able to have more people watching video streaming on the 5G system by doing that. It's not the best. That speed, in my opinion, should be increased to at least 5, but they've done their calculations and they feel that that is adequate. Right now, to be honest, I've watched Netflix, I've watched Prime, and I've had no hiccups, so it must be adequate in that sense. This is what you see when you log into the unit. I'm not going to do an unboxing of this. It literally is a fairly easy unbox. You open it up, there's the unit, there's the power cord, your SIM card, you just put in there and you turn it on. There's a tiny little pamphlet that is a quick start, but honestly, that's it. If you turn the unit upside down, there's all the codes and the passwords in there. Beyond that, there is no reason, I don't think, to be able to do an unboxing for these things. So right now, just so you understand, I'm not in a 5G area. I have taken it to 5G, and when I was in that 5G area, it lit up quite fine, and I got 5G service. However, right now, I'm on a 4G. You can see I'm almost full strength. These are the numbers you should really educate yourself on. I'm not going to go into it much. Anyone who wants to read up on the actual numbers, go ahead. There's lots and lots you can read up there. The big thing you want to look at here is your signal strength is always in a negative. It's always represented as a negative. I found what I call minus 100 is death. It can't really talk. Anything over 100, you're not going to get much performance out of the units at all, be it your cell phone, be it internet, be it anything. The lower this number, the better it is. The noise there, all of these numbers, the lower they are, the better is what you sort of look at there. This again is something that you can look at. I didn't worry about the 5G because I'm not on 5G here. I'm on the 4G system. This is what you want to look at here is your band that you've been used, and I'll be talking to you a little bit about this further on. So you've got your B66 here currently and your B12 that are being used for those. So those are the type of things that you want to really focus on. So this is going to be a very quick video. I'm going to be doing a lot more on videos there. You're more than welcome to add comments in the bottom there. If there's anything else you want me to cover, I will be covering this in future. I would appreciate it if you would like these, and then subscribe if you want to be able to catch up on the others and watch this all the way to the end, because that will certainly access more of the YouTube analogies that go out there. This is from the manual itself. There are multiple units. The unit that is currently being shipped is the 5G16. 12WA. Don't worry too much about this page. I say this is right from the manual. If you'd like to do a lot of bedtime reading, this will put you to sleep very fast. But these are just the highlights that I've picked up and will allow you to then understand a little bit. This is more of what we are interested in. So on the 5G side, you can see we've got the B2, B3, B4s, and the antennas in there. Now, the antennas on here are pretty small, I'll be honest. I haven't taken it apart, but I've seen other people who've taken them apart. I've seen videos of them, and they are pretty small. And if you look at the dBi of these antennas, they're not big. But in reality, look at the antenna on your cell phone. It's not big either. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that. You can get bigger antennas. People have put external antennas on. I actually use a cell booster because of where I am. That has helped. I did try multiple antennas on the cell booster. I did not find that they helped much. The standard the standard directional antenna that came with the booster is perfect. I'm getting very good signal. I got an omnidirectional, which basically means it picks up in all directions, and it's like you standing on a stage, rotating yourself, shouting out there. Well, people are going to hear some of your words, but not all of them. Directional, of course, is better, so that's why I got much better performance out of that. But I wouldn't worry too much about external antennas. I would just go with the standard and move it around and watch your little lights at the top. There's 3 lights to show your signal strength, and if you're in a 5G, the 5G lights up, and it's very simple, very easy to use. When I was in the 5G area, I got the N2 was the one that I was locked onto, so you can see the N2 is accommodating in this unit. So these are the speeds. You can do your own speed test there, but this is one of the speed tests I did. So I'm on the 50 meg package, so you can see my download was almost 50 megs. My ping rate was very good. The lower the number on your ping rate, the better. 20, 30, 40 is good. 50 is okay. 60, 70, you may want to find a new position for it. Ping rates do make quite a big difference in performance. Upload wasn't as good as I'm supposed to get. I'm supposed to get 20. I got just under 10. But again, that was just the one test that I did. If you did another one, move the unit around a little bit, probably get the better upload there. Where is this useful? Rural coverage, farms, cottages, etc. Definitely. If there are cell services out in those areas, if you've got a cottage somewhere and you can talk on your phone, chances are this is going to work. And you could then get a unit, get it shipped at home or whatever, take it up to your cottage, plug it in, get the best signal strength, and you have internet. It is literally that simple. Is it worth it in the city? Possibly. Depending on your location, it could provide an easy setup and implementation. It literally is a case of you just plug it in with the SIM card and it will work. So the pros here is, as I say, it's quick and easy, and it is plug and play. There's nothing to program on it. There's no technician that's going to come out. There is nothing. You take it, you find the best location, you find a power source, and off you go. It's acceptable speeds depending on your location and access to the towers, seamless internet service, and availability. If you've got it in the prime position, you will get very reasonable service out of it. The cons: there is no service that's perfect. You have to understand this. I'm sure you have. You've been driving down the road, or you're sitting at your cottage somewhere, you're talking to someone on your phone, and suddenly it's hello, and they're gone. It happens. So these are new currently in Canada, and so we are basically going through the teething systems. Rogers is having some issues just because it is so brand new to them. They are working through them at a fairly reasonable pace and getting through the problems, but as time goes on, it is definitely going to get better. Bear in mind that these units are technically old. These have been around in the States, this model, for about 3 years. T-Mobile have been using them for quite a while. It doesn't mean that they're obsolete. It just means that it's the older technology. There are bigger, better ones out there, just like there are phones. You're going to probably find that they are going to be getting the better units shortly, or in a reasonable time anyway, and you'll probably be able to migrate to the better units at that point, which may or may not have better speeds, better antennas. We'll see. It all has to do with whatever is on the tower. Whatever the tower can talk to, these have to be compatible. So is it worth it? It is the first time cell service in Canada has offered such a service. Let them work out the kinks and refine it. Speeds could be better, however, in my opinion. 50 and 20 package, it's a little low. If I'm in a 5G area just on my cell phone and I do a speed test, I get exorbitant speeds. But that's just off my cell phone, no throttling or anything like that. I think they could increase these speeds. I would like to see 100, 200 come shortly, but again, that is their call and their packages that they offer. You're going to find the other services around here offer similar speeds, so it's not a case that they are slower than other providers. This seems to be what they are. However, remember, it wasn't that long ago where you would be lucky to get 100 meg download on your cable or your DSL, where now you're getting 1 gig, 1.5 gig. I think you're going to probably see the same on this as well. T-Mobiles in the States are getting between 800 and 900 megabit throughput on those radios. Again, it's just whatever the towers can accommodate. Learn how to read your radio numbers. I just gave you a very quick response there as to what they are. The lower the number, the better, if you can just remember that. So for the most part, yes, it is worth it, I think. Definitely if you're in an area where you've maybe a student going to university, you can buy one, your parents can buy one, whatever it is there, they can take it to wherever they are and plug it in, and they will have internet service very easy, very quick, and be able to then work through it. So in that sense, it would be beneficial. So I'm just going to quickly flip here for you. Oh, didn't time out. Good. So this here are my current speeds that I'm getting. So you can see that the this is actually much lower than the screen print you got, and these numbers are really low, and I'm getting full bars here. Now again, I'm only on 4G. I'm not on 5G, but that's fine. So if we look here at the cellular service, if we look at the 4G, so I'm actually on a different band now. I'm actually on B12, and on the secondary, I'm actually on B4. So your bands will swap around, and the unit will try and talk to the best band available. That's all I'm going to say right now. Again, I appreciate you watching this, and I would appreciate you hitting the like button and subscribing to this. There will be more videos. I will be creating some more in regards to performance, other antennas I've used, the booster antenna I'm using, so on like that. But for the most part, if you want to subscribe to that, it would be appreciated, and we will be talking shortly. Thank you. Hi all. Once again, I'm just going to do a quick review on this unit that Roger's put out not less than a month ago. I think it was about 3 weeks ago. Anyway, if you follow through from the previous one I did a few days ago, first of all, I have to apologize about the microphone. My main microphone died on me, so I was using a backup microphone. I am hoping that this one is better in the audible for you. Anyway, so what I've done is I took it to the rural area in just outside Kitchener, Ontario, and I will show you a map later on. I spoke to Rogers tech support. They had some very good information as to where the towers were, where the signals were going, and that is on the map later on. But I wanted to show you this here as to what they are. So a bit of a refresher first of all. So this is the speeds that Rogers is currently offering and the prices and so on, and we went through this last time. This was the readings that I got now off one of the 5G towers. As you can see, it's 5G at the top. The last one, if you remember, did not have 5G. Now we've got very good signal strength at 5G. I'll show you where I was physically when this happened in reference to the tower. So it's got 5G and 4G, not full 5 bars, but bars are just an indication. Numbers are the big thing. So minus 70 and minus 82 are very, very good. The noise, little high, not too bad. I've had noise down as single digits before, but this isn't bad at all. So that was what the system was reading when I was in the area. Now the 4G, if you remember, we spoke about the bands. So I was on the B66 and the B12. So those bands are not bad. B12 is not as good as B66, but it is not a bad band on that, and I'll show you why here. So B66, there it is there, gives a 2 to 5.2 dBi through there. B12, much lower, much lower there. So to be on the B66 is the better one if you can get it. So this is why I said earlier, you've got to learn to read the numbers. Don't take massive classes on it or anything like that. Just understand, and there is lots of information on the internet in reference to things like this. But it gives you an idea of where we are. So the first test I did, if you remember, I'm on the 50 meg package right now, 50 and 20. So this is the first one I did. Not quite as good as 50 and 20, however, still not bad on that regard. The second test I did was much better in reference to the download. Upload wasn't as good. The ping rate is not bad at all. The lower the ping rate, the better. If you look here, I actually had a lower number, even though my speed was also lower too. So don't always say if this is low, then that'll be high. It doesn't always apply, but you do have to sort of take care of this number and look at this as well. So slightly higher ping rate, but much better download speeds as well. Upload again was about the same as there, so that really didn't change much. So where was I? This is the boundary, the western boundary of Kitchener-Waterloo, going towards Stratford. So according to Rogers, there is a tower just outside New Hamburg here, and its antennas are angled towards the highway. Well, that would make the most sense because that's obviously where you want a lot of the traffic to be. There is a bell tower here owned by CTV, and obviously they're not going to be on that tower. This is actually called the Baden Hill. It's an extremely high tower. Unfortunately, Rogers don't own that, but they do own this. Now, there are other towers. There is another tower way up north here. There's another tower way up south here. And there are multiple other towers. But this is the one that I was interested in just to sort of see how it went. So the first test I did was here. This was the lower numbers. And you can see I'm behind the antennas here. It doesn't mean that I'm not getting signal, but I'm not right in the best place. The higher number, I was right here. And so therefore, I was in this range here, and that's where I got almost my full 50 meg download speed. So again, a bit of a reference here. It is the first time it's been offered here. Allow them to work out the kinks. Yes, I am on the 50-20 package, and I would like to see that increased. I would love to see that increase to 100 and maybe 30 or 40. I think that would be really, really worth it. But again, let Rogers to work this through on this. Learn how to read the radio numbers and understand their meanings, and for the most part, yes, it is worth it. So here you go. This is the second video. Once again, I'm going to ask you to please like it, and if you have any comments or anything you want me to cover, you're more than welcome to add them in the section there. And if you want to subscribe, then you will be kept up to date in regards to when my next videos will be out. I will be doing another one shortly about booster antennas and other antennas I've used. Did they work? Did they not work? What are the benefits of them? So in a few days, hopefully, I will have that ready for you as well. Hi all, I wanted to do another video for you quickly. I talked to you last time about the booster antennas that I have, and I wanted to sort of do a bit of a quick review for you on them. So if you look right now, this is the unit, and you can see our signal strength. We have got good numbers here, -76. The SNR is basically the difference between the signal and the noise ratio there. Closer to 20 is better. I've had this as high as 10 at times, but I honestly look at this number here. I don't really refer too much about this number. I just look at this number here. So I wanted to show you, this is with our booster antenna on right now. I'm about to turn the antenna off. Now look what happens to the signal strength. Look at it, it just jumped. I mean, we just gained 50 dBs there, and we just lost 9 or so dBs in the SNR. It's impossible. So I'll turn it back on for you. So this is in our trailer, so it's basically like a tin can where we have nothing out there. This number will drop back down to the 70s again in a second. There it goes, once it sort of finds itself and signals in again. So you can see how well the booster works. Now this is our booster antenna outside. So you can see it's a directional antenna that points directly to the tower. There are lots of applications you can get that'll actually tell you where the towers are, and you can then point directly at it there. This is a 25-foot telescopic pole. You can see the sections in there. I've got 4 sections up, so we're up at 20 feet. There was another section if I wanted it, but I didn't need it. We are way, way above anything required there, and I'm pointing directly at a tower a few kilometers away. So what are the towers? Sorry, what are the amplifiers? So we use a WeBoost one. So these are WeBoost, and you can see all sorts of different styles there. This is the one that, the similar one to what we have. Let me see if I can find a close one. This is probably closer to what we have. This goes outside, as you saw. The signal then comes into an amplifier in your house, cottage, trailer, whatever you're in. And then there is an internal antenna. Now you want to make sure that it says 5G, 4G, LTE. There are some for like $100 and change that do not do 5G. So just read very carefully, make sure that you get the one that you want. As you can see, they're not really expensive. I mean, this one here is $1,300, $1,400 more likely. That is probably more actually like the one we have. That's sort of what we paid on ours as well, because we got the telescopic pole, we got all sorts of extra stuff on it there. But if you've got a post you can put it on and you got the cable, you might as well buy these for a few $100s. Save yourself some money. Very, very, very simple to set up. As long as ours runs off a 12 volt, I think most of them do run off 12 volt. If not, you can always just buy the adapter, I guess, or maybe it'll come with it there. So those, if we just ask for cell booster, there are multiple styles you can buy. You can see there's some houses by WeBoost, but there are many, many, many styles you can get. So these are the Canadian prices. This is an omnidirectional one. I actually got an omnidirectional antenna. I tried it. I plugged it into the system. It didn't work. So I personally wouldn't go for it. I would go for a directional one like this if you could. This is a directional one as well. This just has a plastic over the image of that. So either one of these could work. This actually has a little antenna inside that'll go into your ceiling. That's why it's round. It's like a plate, and it's an internal antenna. So you can just basically decide which style you like, whatever is pretty for your needs. If I was buying one today, honestly, I'd probably go for this one here, because this does say does Bell, Sasktel, Telus, Rogers, so it's definitely designed for the Canadian frequencies. However, most of the Canadian frequencies are the equivalent of the US frequencies, which are the equivalent of international frequencies. So just read up a little bit. As long as it says 5G and 4G, you're okay. I mean, for instance, look at this one here. It does not say 5G. I wouldn't buy it. So, make sure that you do find one that does say 5G on that here. Again, this is an Omni. I didn't have any luck with the Omni. I had much, much better luck with our directional, finding the cell tower and pointing it straight to it. So there you go. That's all I wanted to tell you. That's my opinion on the boosters. It definitely does make a difference in the signal strength, as you saw by turning the booster on and off in a trailer, or in a cottage, or even in a house. A friend of mine actually has a house in town and has bad cell service in his basement, and he's got a booster in his basement, and he's got full cell service in his basement. So there is a lot more use than just for these systems. Again, is it worth it? Is the Rogers 5G home system worth it? I think so. It definitely does meet a standard where cable can't be run, where other cell services aren't really available in the rural area, or even, as I've said to you before, maybe you've got some kids who are going to university or school or something like that. You can set it up, they can take it with them and plug it in, and as long as they've got cell service, it should work. And I've yet to find a place where children would not want cell service. So more than likely these would work. I hope that helps you and answers your questions. If you have anything, again, please like this video, subscribe, as I will be putting more videos out showing you this. And if you have any questions or you want anything covered, don't feel that you can't sort of ask these questions. You're more than welcome to. Thank you.